Unlucky result today, Ben. How are the lads feeling after that?
They're frustrated because the 3-0 doesn't, well, the performance didn't warrant a 3-0. We were very disappointed in the way that we started the game. I don't feel like we actually got to grips with what we expected of us, and it was also an element of we didn't expect Bagasan, their left back, to be the one breaking into the box and scoring a goal like that. Like, he's an experienced full-back. I've played against him many a time, and he's probably become a bit more defensive, and he is a very good player. But I think when you look at the homework against them, you wouldn't expect it to be him. You expect it to be their wingers, their front men, their sort of attacking players to be the ones breaking in. So that caught us a bit unaware, really, and that's a little bit disappointed with the organisation and letting him be free and things like that. But I felt like from 6-7 minutes to 90 minutes we reacted really well. I felt like we dominated enough of the game. I think we should have scored chances. We said before the game it was going to be a game of attacking set pieces. It wasn't going to be many clear-cut chances in the game, and there wasn't many clear-cut chances in the game. And frustratingly, from half-time to about 85th, 90th minute, it was all us. It was all us going forward. There was good bits of play, but we didn't put the ball in the back of the net. And there's other days out here when we could complain and we could say maybe forwards could have done more and things. I don't think it was on that as such. I think a few boys could have maybe put the ball in the back of the net today and sort of backed us and had that desire to get us through. And disappointingly, when we're going through it, we're counter-attacking at one end and we've then conceded a second goal and the game's over. The third goal's, there's no point talking about it. The ref's giving us a throw and suddenly let them throw it and score. But we were still 2-0 down. The game was still theirs to be won. So we don't need to pick up on that. But I just think heads are a little bit down because it didn't feel like that game. And we've now played them twice. I think away from home, we didn't quite have the personnel to win the game of football. I felt like today, at 1-0 down, we dominated and should have scored goals. We had the personnel, players came on, and it just didn't quite work. And it's a frustrating one to take, and we just need to sort of get together and make sure we kick on for the final 9 games.
As you said, we're now on the business end of the season. We've got a couple of home games coming up. What are you telling to the lads to keep their heads up and keep going for the rest of the year?
I think we were very positive with the last 2 games, very positive with the previous 2 home games. But today there was a bit more constructive criticism in the change room because I feel like the other teams, and maybe it's where we're not quite, like we said before at the start of the season, we're not quite used to constantly winning games of football in the really big games. Maybe we haven't played as many big games in the last few years where we're at the top end of the table, where it means a lot. And I think other teams, like you look at them today, they've had 3-4 chances and they've scored 3 goals. Whereas we've had sort of 4 or 5 chances, especially in the second half, and we haven't put them in the back of the net. So I think it's time to get a bit more critical. We've got a lot of options. We've got a lot of people challenging for positions. So it's going to be a bit more of a headache to pick a team for Saturday, because I thought last Saturday just gone was a brilliant performance and we've had to rotate a couple to look after players, and there were a couple of knocks again today. We've had to take players off that you probably wouldn't normally want to take off. So there's elements of that. We've got to look after people for Thursday and make sure we're right for Saturday. But now we're going to 2 home games where we need to go back to those performances where we're dominating and scoring goals.
Thank you.
No worries.